Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Liz, and today we're going to be discussing 4 unidentified Jane Does. Yes, these 4 are tied to the RedHead murders, and these are 4 more, other than the Wetzel County Jane Doe, that are unidentified. Today we're going to be discussing the Pulaski County Jane Doe, the Roan County Jane Doe, the Benton County Jane Doe, and the DeSoto County Jane Doe. On the 29th of August of 1987, in Roan County, Tennessee, a body of a woman was discovered. They believed she was about 35 to 50 in age. She was 5'5" to 5'8" in height. She naturally had brown hair, but it was dyed red. She also had received a hysterectomy and a tracheotomy in her lifetime. She had a mole on her back that specifically was on her left side. She also had breast implants put in sometime during her lifetime. Now, in addition to these identifying marks that she has, she also suffered an old gunshot wound to the 3rd thoracic vertebra of her back, with the bullet still lodged in her spine. They believed that she was burned. That way, this could specifically hinder her identification, and it's believed that she was murdered. The Roan County Jane Doe does not have a lot of information tied to her. There is no imagery of her body. There is no specifics other than her height and her age when it comes to her body, and that she had naturally brown hair that was dyed red. There's no other markings on her body that are talked about, which I find very odd. So there's a lot about her case that is not released. The Benton County Jane Doe. Hers and the Roan County Jane Doe are very similar because they involve burning. These are the only 2 I have found that involve them being burned. So this is kind of an escalation when it comes to the violence on these people's bodies. So the body of a woman was found on May 7th of 1990 in Rogers, Arkansas. She was located 8 miles west of Decatur, Arkansas, off of Highway 102 in Rogers. This area was close to Oklahoma and the Missouri state lines. Several bones were discovered along what appeared to be like shotgun weighting. There was also buckshot pellets that were found in the ground underneath the skull. Now, it was reported by a neighbor they saw fire in that area in February of 1990. But the same neighbor never went to investigate it. This neighbor also believed that someone was just burning trash. That's why they never reported it. The investigators believe that the victim was maybe run down by a vehicle to make her ID more difficult. They also believe that she was shot and then set on fire. So maybe after she was hit by the car, she didn't pass away or expire fast enough for whoever killed her. Then they shot her and set her on fire. Also, there was not enough of her remains left in order to provide a reconstruction of her body. She was estimated to be about 25 to 35 in age and about 5'5" in height. Just like the Roan County Jane Doe, there is not enough significant information found online or in the newspaper articles that I've read that give more definitive details about the body they discovered. The Pulaski County Jane Doe, she also does not have a lot of distinguishable information. So there's kind of a reason why I'm leaving or why I'm doing these in the order that they are, because it's the length of information that I was able to find on them. The Pulaski County Jane Doe, she was found dead on April 20th of 1985 in Wrightsville, Arkansas. She was estimated to be about 30 to 40 years of age. She approximately was 5'3" in height, and that she had blondish red hair. Previously, her left femur had fractured, but it didn't heal properly. There are signs of it being misaligned in a malunion of the bones. That's how they know it didn't heal properly. And there was also excessive callus formation on the femur as well. Her cause of death has never been released, which kind of makes me wonder as to why they will never release it. Maybe they have more information regarding her on her actual case file. Very little information, just like the other 2 in the beginning of this video, very little information has been released to the public about her case, which makes me wonder why. Maybe they're using this in reference to the RedHead murders to try and see how they can properly correlate her case to the rest. Her set of remains were skeletal in discovery, so it would also make it harder to indicate what her exact cause of death would be. Now, the state of her remains, as I said, were skeletal. Some things I did read said it was partial skeletal, but she was unrecognizable. They could not do a reconstruction at first. There was a proper facial reconstruction of her, but it proved to not help in her identification. Her DNA is on file as well. That way, if they wanted to do further testing, they would be able to. Or they would exhume her remains, what is left, and extract more DNA. Her body was only found in a multicolored 1045 park blouse, 1045 park blouse, in about a size 5, and she was wearing a bra. She was discovered about a quarter-mile south of Wrightsville Park Road, of which is about 75 yards west of the Arkansas River. She was found face down in the river with her clothing, and this is about 70 feet, like southwest, near a riverbank. So she was found submerged in the water. There is more just kind of like things that set some of these victims apart, and this is one of them. The ones that are found closer to the water, not so much so like they're near water or they're near a highway. These ones are in the water. So there shows more like of a malicious background when it comes to these victims. And then we come to our last of these four Jane Does, and that's the DeSoto County Jane Doe. She has more information that's relatively available online that I found via my research. A woman was found murdered in Olive Branch, Mississippi on January 24th of 1985. She was found by a truck driver who was driving southbound on Highway 78. Her body was found about 100 feet from the Coldwater River Bridge, and this was at about 7:30 a.m. She was 20 feet south of the highway. Her shoes and undergarments and jacket, they were all missing. She only had a light peach colored, like short sleeve pullover top that had an embroidered patch on the front, and wearing Gloria Vanderbilt blue jeans as well. She died via ligature strangulation with a narrow object. Narrow object with something to strangle her with. And it is possible that she was sexually assaulted as well. It's estimated she was between 20 to 40 in age, and that she was about 5'2 to 5'4 in height. They also believe she could be about 105 to 130 in weight when she was alive. Now, what's significant about her hair is that her hair color is often what's called dishwasher blonde, because it was red to blonde hair, and it was medium in length. So red to blonde, hence why it's like a dishwasher. So it's washing out, basically. She had a very freckled complexion. She also had tattoos on the inside of each of her ankle. One was THC and the other one was RCJ. So these possibly were initials, maybe of children. It's a possibility, or maybe of people that she loved in her life. She had their initials tattooed on her. She also had a diagonal surgical scar on the back of her left forearm. Scars, like a scar on her left hand, it's pip joint. She also had scars on her second and third fingers, and she had a scar at the base of her thumb as well. Her teeth were in an overall state of poor condition. She had several fillings, and she had one missing lower tooth as well. Her fingerprints were taken, and her DNA is available, and it's available to be cross-referenced with potential matches as well. It is also believed that she was a heavy smoker in life. This is one detail about her that just sticks out to me. And I wonder if when they did her autopsy, they were able to determine this due to the state of her lungs. If you're an ex-smoker, or like you know somebody that's a smoker, your lungs are heavily damaged. I'm an ex-smoker, so I know this. My lungs are damaged. But your lungs are so damaged by everything that's in them. And this is not a PSA oh my god, go quit smoking or whatever. I'm talking about, you can tell somebody's a smoker. So I wonder if they put this in there specifically if somebody knows somebody that went missing or they think died and has this same characteristic as her. So if she was a heavy smoker, she probably had that like heave that people do, or there's like a significant cough people have when they're a smoker. So I wonder if they put this out there as like a kind of like a calling card for somebody. That's my thought about this one detail. She also had 3 earrings in each ear, and her fingernails were bitten like way down, further than they were supposed to. So kind of like how far, if you're a severe nail biter, this is where you would bite your nails down to. She was laid to rest in the Blocker Cemetery in Olive Branch. It was brought to the attention of the DeSoto County Police Department that this Jane Doe could be Helen Ann Morgan. Helen Ann Morgan went missing on May 13th of 1984 in Lamar County, Georgia. I have my doubts about this due to the characteristics failing to fall in line with the DeSoto County Jane Doe. I believe this possibly could be Ruth Annette Johnson Barber. So she went missing on May 31st of 1984. She was 36 at the time. So age fits in. She went missing at 1:30 on May 31st of 1984 in Gulfport, Mississippi at a Holiday Inn on Highway 90. And she was traveling from California to Mississippi. So there's one detail about who she went missing with is very weird. So apparently the man she was with was wanted by the FBI. I couldn't really find anything else other than that. Other than Ruth also had scars on her legs and her arms. So there's certain details about Ruth and her disappearing that falls in line with the DeSoto County Jane Doe. That's why I personally think it is that the DeSoto County Jane Doe possibly could be Ruth Annette Johnson Barber. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments down below. I would love to know. But that is the cases of the Roan County Jane Doe, Pulaski County Jane Doe, the Benton County Jane Doe, and the DeSoto County Jane Doe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.